Guys, I'm hyped. I'm super hyped. My cold is almost entirely gone. I feel the power again. And today is the last day where I actually want to focus on the live setup. Not spend my time here making music, just downstairs time for the live setup. Because they're just like small tweaks and then it's fully functional, working. It sounds amazing. It looks really good. So I would love to focus today's video on the live setup and answer all of your questions about the live setup, and of course give you a little sneak preview of what it actually looks and sounds like when I would then actually play it somewhere in front of a crowd.
Never catch up tonight. If you're on me, if you're longing, I'll keep you coming.
I look kind of tiny right here. Yeah, I made this table higher. It's actually for standing. So yeah, this is the live setup. It's fairly compact. It's just one person. We got two synthesizers, fully analog. The OB6 polyphonic, two oscillators, noise, and a sub oscillator, and the Moog slim fatty, two oscillators, very fat for bass. Absolutely love it. Tuning issues are just like my only concern at the moment. The Akai APC40, we got the Arturia Beat Step, syncing this one with Ableton, it's not that easy, and an M Audio Air sound card just because it has enough ins and outs. The first question is already a juicy one. How much is the entire setup worth? 500, got it cheap. I think this one is around 3K actually, which is very expensive. A little overpriced if you ask me, but it's polyphonic analog, that's usually expensive. This one was also used 150. This one 300. The sound card, I don't remember, maybe 100. So it's, except for the OB6, it's fairly inexpensive for what it is actually able to do. Then of course on top there's a computer, 2000, and then behind me there's a short throw projector that was super expensive, I think. I also bought it used 2,500, 3,000. More on that short throw thing and the entire concept in a bit. Yeah, quite expensive. Any tips on how to start my own live setup? That's a tough question because like a live setup, there is no recommendation. It's totally up to you, your music, what kind of hardware you like, which one you're familiar with, which one gives you the sounds that you actually need. You just have to like think about it. What I did, I checked out everyone else's live setup and I was thinking, why are they using this? What is this for? What is good about this? What is not good about that? Does it work for me? Is it cool? Is it like, does the audience see me actually do something and hear it? That's really important to me. I've seen a lot of live setups where you see people do something and you can't hear anything because they're setting maybe in a drum machine, a different pattern layer, selecting samples. I don't want any button presses or turning knobs that do not do something to the sound. That's really important to me. Everything else needs to be pre-done, pre-made, pre-arranged in a smart way. So you just focus on making music, playing like an instrument. A guitar doesn't have stuff you don't use while playing it actually. Like this is how streamlined this has to be. Next question is, will you live stream in the future? I usually don't like live streams. I like playing in front of a crowd, especially when it comes to DJing. But right here for this kind of live thing, I would actually not mind live streaming it because right now I'm still like training, developing, tweaking. So why not get some feedback by the community? Next up, now all you need is to sing. Yes, I got a mic here and I can talk through the mic just to say hi to the crowd, or maybe if something happens or something fails, or I don't know. I had already multiple times that someone fainted in the crowd and we had to stop the music and like make sure people make like room for the people coming to rescue the person. So having a mic is really a must, just for emergencies. I'm not someone that talks over the music, Steve Aoki kind of style, Tomorrowland main stage. That's not my thing. But singing, yes. Singing would be actually the thing that would elevate this entire setup. But I cannot sing. I'm learning how to sing, but this is still going to take years. Really, singing is so hard. Can you show us a diagram of how everything is connected? It's actually pretty boring because like the Moog and the OB6, just audio into the sound card, then everything else is just USB into the computer, that's it. There's nothing, no fancy wiring at all. Next up, can you play the keyboard on top of the current song? Yes, I can. Let's see. Can even like hold. So yeah, both synths, I can just play them and add to it. I can also, in the beat step, it's mostly for drums, but I can switch to sequencer 2 and then play the Moog. Switch to sequencer 1 and play one-shots out of the computer. Like, trust me, there is a lot that is possible. Would you add another analog synth to the live setup if you could? No. No. Like, one main goal of this setup was to make it like transportable in a way where I, myself alone, could put it into 2 suitcases and onto an airplane. Like this stuff, 1 suitcase, the OB6, another one, close in between. That's how it goes on tour. And I can take it with me. So I can like hopefully tour, play everywhere, and I'm not restricted. Another synth would add a lot more weight, and it wouldn't add a lot more to the sound, because I got the bass, usually basses, and then a pad, an arp, or maybe chords. Like another one is not really necessary. If I need to have in maybe 1 or 2 songs more elements that really play and do stuff, I could just add them as audio onto one of the channels and fade them in, or maybe use a software synthesizer if the CPU actually handles that. Like, I think that's a very compact, smart kind of setup that doesn't overcomplicate it. It's not too gimmicky. Still gives me a lot of freedom. It's like the perfect balance, at least for me. I mean, that's kind of obvious. I made the setup for me and myself and my music. So it should fit and should work. Just see like the screws on the Slim Fatty are rusty. I mean, how old is this thing? 10 years? We wrote to Moog because actually the USB port on the back, if you plug it into a Mac, it doesn't see it, like it doesn't support it. We wrote them and they were just like, yeah, it's so old. There is no update for it. No Mac can read it. We would have to update it. They just don't do it. So it's over MIDI connected to the computer. Last question before actually showing you everything. Why not the APC40 MK2? So this right here is the APC40, the original MK1 version that is super old. And there is a new version, and I ordered it. Like, that was my first choice. But the new version, the faders, they're embedded in there and they're really sticky. Like, these are fast, like DJ mixer faders and short. Then also the build quality on this one is 100% better. And the layout is better for me and suited more towards the stuff that I need. The new version is actually worse than this one. It's not an MK2 version. Let's make another version to save more money and still sell the same shit to everyone out there. But anyways, let me fire everything up, make the room dark, and add the screen, the projector, because that's actually the twist about this entire setup. Whenever I control something, it could be like the cutoff right here, it could be the low cut right here, or I add a channel, it actually sends information to a second program. It's called Resolume Arena. It's for visuals. And it alters the visuals right behind me. So I'm playing the music. I'm just playing the music, but the inputs that I give are also sent simultaneously to another program that generates kind of randomly, but not random. It's like in between random, not random. I couldn't recreate it like twice looking the same, but there are like certain parameters to make it look cool always. Very complicated stuff. We also had to program some stuff for it, so it's really super custom, and I can't wait. I can't wait to showcase this in front of people. For now, it's just virtually through here. So yeah, let's fire it up. So yeah, just for example, if I turn the cutoff, it changes the color behind me. if I turn up the reverb, it starts like flickering up and down. Delay, it washes it out. Like that's the core basic principle of it. That's my live setup. Hopefully soon in a club near you. I don't know. COVID's still a little around. It's getting less and less. So maybe beginning of next year, first couple of shows, testing this right here in a local club here in Germany where I used to be a resident before COVID. I already talked with them. They're interested in this. And I can't wait to like showcase it to people and see their reactions. And also getting feedback on the dance floor is really important to make this as perfect as possible. Thanks a lot for watching. Let me know if you want to know anything about this live setup down below in the comments. And also what you think about it. Is that something you would appreciate, going to a club, seeing this, hearing this? Anyways, thanks a lot for watching. Sign out.